So a family consisting of a father, a mother, a son, a daughter, and a dog walk into the talent agent's office, and the father says to the agent, "We have this amazing act. You've never seen anything like this before. It's truly spectacular." So the talent agent nods his head, and the family just gets started right away. The father starts by taking off all his clothes and violently ripping off his wife's clothes. The son follows by removing the dog's collar and then taking off his clothes. The daughter keeps hers on for now. Father goes to the pile of clothes in the corner plus the dog collar and just pisses all over them. While the mother goes over the son and starts sucking him off and fondling his ballsack. The son calls the dog over and starts fingering his ass while the daughter is stripping. The father's done peeing and goes to the daughter and just rips out her tampon and just throws the tampon at the window above the talent agent's head. It gets stuck there, and the talent agent's just looking at it like there's nothing out of the ordinary. The mother is working the son's cock very well and just explodes with cum all over her face while the dog is moaning away. Father walks over to the daughter and starts fist-fucking her ass. After a moment, his arm is covered with blood and shit. I may be wondering, why is there blood? Well, a young girl's asshole, not that big, being penetrated by a large man's arm. There's going to be some wear and tear, trust me. That's besides the point, though. Back to the mother who has now had a facial from her teenage son. The mother goes after the dog's cock and fist-fucking the son at the same time. The son starts eating out his sister's pussy right now. The son goes over to the pile of piss-drenched clothes and reaches into his back pocket of his pants for a Swiss Army knife. And he proceeds to jump on the desk of the talent agent, and he squats down with his legs spread apart and grabs his scrotum sack. The rest of the family just stops and just stares at him. He uses the knife to split down the middle of his ball sack, and blood just rains all over the rest of the family. He grabs some string and fastens it to each testicle and plays them as a puppet, you know. And the whole family's just cheering him on. Now the tampon falls from the window and lands in the talent agent's head. Father grabs it and jumps off the desk and uses the knife, which is covered in blood, to cut the tampon into small pieces, which each family eats a piece. They start making like a humping or fucking train. Father, the mother, then the son, and the daughter, and the dog in front, of course. Oh, I mentioned everybody has a dick. It's somewhat important. Not really, but somewhat. The train circles around the room 3 times, then comes to a stop, and everyone's tired. They're covered in piss, blood, cum, sweat, a little bit of shit. Where did sweat come from? Well, the train was quite a workout for them, plus all the activities beforehand. Being tired, they all just lie down for a minute. Father gets up and goes to the drawer and puts his dick in it and just slams it shut about 10 times with his dick in it, just sort of flattening it out. While the daughter, having a dick also, starts to fuck the dog while whacking herself off inside the dog's rectum. Talented woman. The mother starts to loop back herself. For those who don't know what loop back means, basically shoving your own dick into your asshole. The son decides to finger rape himself by sticking his dick under the fingernail but above the skin, and then you penetrate your finger. The father, having a flattened dick, goes up to his son and whips him in the face like a wet towel, causing his eye to fall out. The father sees the empty eye socket as the perfect opportunity and gives him a one-eyed grandma, and the son's eye just sort of dangles there. The mother and daughter assume doggy-style position on the desk, with their asses facing the father and the son, and then they just burst with shit going all over the father and the son, and the floor, the walls, coat hanger, door. The mother and daughter finish after a few seconds, and the mother goes to the son, and the daughter goes to the father, and just make out. While rolling around in the pool of sweat and blood and piss and cum and shit, a little bit of snot from the dog's runny nose, too. They stand up in a line and start dancing and singing, "Make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh, make 'em laugh." The father gets angry at the son for being offbeat and just kicks him in the head, flinging him to the other side of the room, hitting the wall head first and splitting his head wide open. The dog sees the brains and just decides to defecate all over the brains. The daughter goes and fist fuck his cockhole. His cockhole, people, causing a lot of wear and tear, bleeding. The dog continues by dry humping the son's stomach. Yes, I said his stomach. Now everyone is covered in blood, sweat, shit, piss, and cum. Everybody, except for the son, who's possibly dead by now, stand up in a line and shout, "Ta-da!" The talent agent sits there for a long time, just thinking about what crazy-ass shit he just saw, and says, "What do you call this act?" The father proudly sticks his chest out and says, "The aristocrats."